Should be good to go, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the October 8th, 2025 meeting to order. Please rise for a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Maureen, could you please do the roll call?
Sure. Commissioner Fox,
Here.
Commissioner Murphy,
Here.
Commissioner Minor,
Present.
Commissioner Nafis, Commissioner Pascarelli. Here. Chairman Sobieski,
Here.
Commissioner Woods,
Here.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Here.
Commissioner Wakana.
Here.
You're all set.
Thank you. I'd like to have Commissioner Hoffman in place of Commissioner Nafis tonight. Thank you. Okay, approval of the agenda.
No changes?
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, first round of public participation for items not listed on the agenda. 3 minutes is for speaking time.
No one online, Mr. Chairman.
No one in the room. Okay. Move to remarks by commissioners. Any remarks by the commissioners? Okay. Public hearings, we don't have any. Like to have motion for approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Old business. You ready to start reading this in, Paul?
Yep. That'd be
Can I do it? Okay. This is petition TPZ 25-16, site plan for a 40-unit rental apartment home development under CGS 8-30G affordable housing application at 220, 226, 244 Kitts Lane and 226 Kitts Lane rear in the BBT Business Berlin Turnpike Zone. Owner applicant Kitts Lane Apartments LLC. Contact Timothy Hollister.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
at the last meeting, I was asked to come up with draft motions and work with the applicant regarding those regarding conditions of approval. I've provided those for you. The one thing I would like to point out is that there is one condition on there. It's condition T for the site plan modification that is regarding a protective fence behind units 7 to 15 in the areas abutting the neighboring properties detention basin. We've talked with the applicant. They agree with the conditions that you'll kind of read in and discuss. But on this one condition, there is disagreement between the town and the applicant. So I just wanted to draw that to your attention. So however you kind of choose to move forward with your deliberations and then your motion, just to give you that idea, just make sure that's out there.
Okay, any questions from the commissioners before we start reading? Commissioner Woods.
Everything else is agreement.
Yep, and again, I think you could call up the applicant, you could ask them after even like reading the conditions, or I can read them in. But yes, I have discussed it with the applicant.
Okay, so while we read them, then we can go ahead and make the motion and we can have a discussion.
You want to make the motion?
Not really. I don't want to repeat all that.
No,
I can read it.
She's gonna read it in.
So we're starting by reading in the motion. Is that correct?
Yeah, you
Okay.
gotta move to approve it.
Yep, and I can even, oh,
So the deliberation happens after this is read in.
yes, again, either I can read them in for the commission's information and then we can cite them. That way, even before you go into deliberations, you can even ask the applicant if they agree with them. So I will read that if you like for you now. So again, the conditions that the staff is, recommending, again, with talking with the applicant, is 1, a final affordability plan shall be submitted prior to the issuance of certificate of occupancy. The annual report of the town planning, the annual report to the town plan and zoning commission shall also include a report of the dispersion of the affordable units throughout the development. The affordable units shall be evenly distributed across the development as proposed by the applicant. 2, the applicant site plan for the Willow Haven townhouses prepared by Zuvik dated 9/12/2025 shall be modified in the following manner. A, the proposed driveway intersection opposite the Aldi's supermarket driveway in Kitts Lane shall be constructed as a four-way stop. The signing and pavement marking plan provided by F.A. Hesketh and Associates Incorporated dated September 24th, 2025 shall be incorporated into the final plan set after review and approval by the town engineer and local traffic authority. B, the sidewalks along the inner ring in front of units 16 through 20, inclusive of the visitor spaces, and units 21 through 38 within the proposed area of flush mountable curbs shall be constructed as town standard driveway apron for the entire length to support fire apparatus and other emergency vehicles. Notes and details to this effect shall be incorporated into the final plan set after approval by town staff. C, the extent of the mountable curbing shown on sheet SP1 shall be revised to include mountable park curbing along the curves of the site hammerheads. D, the grading of the southern site hammerhead shall be revised to provide no less than 8 inches of vertical clearance at all points along the vertical curve for the design vehicle. E, the plan shall be modified to provide emergency access to the areas behind units 23 through 31. An accessible route shall be provided through the construction of 2 sets of stairs, one between unit 25 and 26, and another between unit 27 and 28. From the front to the rear of these units. In addition, the decks behind units 28 through 31 shall be constructed as a single deck with stairs connecting to the ground behind unit 28. The decks behind units 26 and 27 shall also be constructed with stairs connecting to the ground. These stairs shall be designed by the applicant's site engineer and incorporated into the final plan set after approval by town staff. F, the ground condition cover for the slopes in excess of 3:1 between units 27 to 28 and 25 to 26 shall be revised prior to obtaining a certificate of occupancy to provide for adequate site stabilization in conjunction with plan modifications for emergency personnel access. G, the south walls of units 23 through 31 shall be designed to incorporate the recommendations of the Brooks acoustical study to provide an exterior wall assembly with a sound isolation performance of at least STC 55 and window assemblies which provide a sound isolation performance of at least STC 35. H, the proposed 8-foot tall wooden fence shall be modified to an 8-foot acoustic sound barrier fence. Notes and details to this effect shall be incorporated into the final plan set prior to obtaining a building permit. The applicant is permitted to install a 15-foot sound barrier fence subject to building permit and zoning approval if it is found to be needed by the applicant based on as-built conditions. I, revise grading and drainage infrastructure between units 23 to 31 and the southern property line and for the toe of slope east of unit 23 and between units 25 and 26 and between 26 and 27. J, the soil and erosion control plan shall be modified to include perimeter controls along the northern property line, a reinforced silt fence on the downslope portion of the soil stockpile area and detail of the same. And a reinforced silt fence on the downslope portion of the soil stockpile area and a detail of the same. And the contact information for the person responsible for the SESC on the plan or providing that contact to the town planner not less than 2 weeks prior to construction. These revisions shall be included on the final plan set after approval by town staff. K, sheet GP1, update hydrant locations to consistently reflect proposed locations shown on the utility plan. L, revise locations of no parking signs to ensure that they're not in the vehicle's turning path. M, add a note to sheet UP1 to incorporate the response to staff comment 4I regarding the proposed 240 volt outlets in the garages capable of supporting level 2 electric vehicle chargers. N, include proposed electrical and telecommunications infrastructure on the plan. These utilities are required to be installed. They should be installed underground per NZR section 3.14.4 and 7.4.14. O, show footing drains on the final plan. P, if the easement in favor of the Southern New England Telephone Company, volume 108, page 215, has not been released, plot the easement on the existing conditions map if it can be depicted. Q, a sign should be installed at the parking space closest to the proposed mailbox indicating a dedicated short-term parking space, 10 to 15 minutes maximum for mail pickup and delivery. R, install no parking signage along the stretch of driveway leading to the northern hammerhead. S, the landscape plan and planting table shall be revised to incorporate the foundation plantings as noted in Schedule A of the applicant's affordability plan and additional plantings throughout the site. T, install a protective fence behind units 7 to 15 in the areas abutting the neighboring property's detention basin. 3, the applicant is recommended to incorporate fire-resistant materials in the design of the rear decks located 2 feet from the property line behind units 24 to 31. 4, the applicant shall conform to all rules and requirements to be set forth by the tree warden for removal of trees in the right-of-way per chapter 367, 5I of the town code. 5, the applicant shall sign a drainage agreement for private connection into the town of Newington system. So those are the conditions. Again, I think the applicant has reviewed those. There's the one in between, again, the condition T on the modification. If you'd like to ask them if they agree with them, now would be a good time.
Yeah, please come up. And we want to know if you agree with these before we start.
Andrew Moore, for the record, the question was to confirm that the approval conditions are as discussed and
As discussed and as agreed.
yes, the approval conditions besides the last one with respect to the fence behind 7 through 15. All the others are agreeable.
Any questions from the commissioners?
I have a question.
Commissioner Hoffman?
What is the problem with that particular one that you see in your denial of it?
So in our supplemental materials, we provided a response to that question. There, we submitted a long memorandum of it was a copy of the town planner and engineering department's comments, and we annotated it with our responses. And our response to that with respect to the grade going down to the detention basin posing as a safety issue was that it's only a 3-to-1 slope. So it's really not that steep, and we don't think a fence is necessary.
So it's more for safety of people and not for, runoff or anything like that?
I believe that was the staff's concerns.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Any other questions? Commissioner Fox?
One quick question, not one question pertaining to this issue or?
Yep. So again, I just remind the commission that no new, the public hearing is closed. No new information can be submitted. So it's just kind of a review of the existing information.
Yeah, of course. No, I just had a question.
And this is primarily the commission's deliberation.
It was noted at the last meeting, a two-way, a four-way stop. Not that it matters now because it's all done, but it was mentioned how people come flying down there. Is it going to be a stop sign ahead? Sign?
Yep, I believe if you look at that, the
Maybe
plan that was submitted, and again, we did note on one of the conditions, again, for that final plan to be reviewed by and approved by the town engineer and local traffic authority.
Thank you.
Commissioner Harpy?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I would just like to revisit the scope of the project, so I have a clear understanding. The 2 bedrooms will be, square footage will be 1,125 up to 1,670. Is that still consistent with your plan?
The square foot of the bedrooms aren't changing from our original, yeah,
And not on the large one either, 18,000 square feet.
none of the square footage are changing from our original submission.
And when you scoped this out, you had indicated you have 5.9 acres for this.
Correct.
Sounds correct. And the proposed building coverage is still at 12.4% after you do an analysis.
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
That hasn't changed as well. As far as the implication or the sound barrier situation, are you saying that no fence would apply or a shorter fence would be conducive?
So this is something that we've discussed and we've agreed to put up an 8-foot sound barrier fence, and that's reflected in the draft condition H that Mr. Dixon just stated.
Okay, and has there ever been a consideration of building less than the number of units? The 40 units? Because I think that's what's creating your biggest problem, quite frankly. You have an issue with public safety vehicles coming in, and I know you reached an agreement with the fire department.
Mr. Chairman and Mr. Harpy, if I could interject again, I would recommend, again, those kind of discussions, that's kind of a deliberation item. You know, what's been presented is what's presented, the plan. Again, these are all modifications based upon that 9/12
All
plan.
right, well, I'm not totally pleased with it, but I understand what you're saying. Thank you.
Commissioner Pascarelli?
I don't have any questions.
Commissioner Woods?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Back to T. I don't remember any conditions being discussed on the fence on the north side of the property. Did I miss that?
So it was in the staff comments responded to, but I do not believe it was discussed at the commission.
Right. So I would like to not add the fence on the north side. They've agreed to do the south side, which we asked. And they agreed to make it an 8-foot high fence with a 4-foot acoustical panel on top of that, or the top half of it being. I think that's sufficient.
Yep, and again, that would be a good item for deliberations for the
Yep.
commission.
Did you, Mr. Chairman, did you want to go to either the commissioners online?
Yes, since Commissioner Woods is done.
That was it. Other than that, I'm in favor of this. And I actually applaud both of you. That was your job to work this out, and you did it in 2 weeks. Actually did it in less than 2 weeks because it's in front of us right now. So, although I think this might be the longest list of conditions that we've approved in a long time. And I realize most of them are just to cover everybody's rear ends, but
Yep.
unfortunately, it's the way we live.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Wakoma?
Yes, I'm comfortable with where things are at this point.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Minor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I believe that all the conditions that are set have addressed the concerns that I had at the previous meeting. The only thing I would question or add is there was a lot of discussion regarding the four-way intersection at the exit as it was redrawn. And I am almost more concerned of a four-way being an added safety concern with traffic trying to stop coming down the hill during a storm, because it's actually partially in the hill or just at the base of the grade, to just having an exit stop sign as it was originally presented. I'd be interested in any other commissioner comments on that. But everything else I believe is fine.
Again, I just remind that would be a good item. Yep.
Can we turn this into a motion?
Yep, once a motion is made and the conditions are either read again or cited, we can have that discussion. It's good to read and actually talk about the conditions through them. Again, this is, part of the 830G process of you looking at these conditions, discussing them, deliberating. Again, they've been provided for the commission, work together with the applicant.
Myself, I think it's a fairly good project. I do have some reservations, but they're my personal reservations. I've worked in traffic and being a planner and an engineer. But I just have one question. When was this decided prior to the meeting last week?
What do you
When,
mean,
when did,
Chairman?
when
Mr.
did
Chairman?
everybody agree to these conditions?
After the meeting.
After the meeting?
We worked with staff and came up with a draft list of approval conditions for your consideration.
And staff can add to that, you would see that the, the condition, that I discussed regarding the stairs, the previous condition that's in your
Right.
staff report, was more along the lines of kind of what was discussed before, that access would be provided. And this really kind of works out what exactly that access means. So before the previous, discussion, there's discussion regarding having access through stairs, through reconfiguration. But again, it's post-hearing, discussion, working with the applicant to narrow down that condition.
All right. Thank you. That's all the questions I have. So the next thing is we put a motion forward.
Yep, motion and, your motion, you have a motion, you have a second, you have all your discussions, your deliberation, your discussions of the conditions. I hate to do it to you, via, but maybe probably even read them again for the record.
Okay,
Okay.
are they just being read straight in, or is there a pause to?
No, I think you can, if it's your motion, it's your motion
Okay,
with all of
Put it
these,
all in.
and then you guys can discuss from there.
okay.
All right.
So here's the motion, for petition TPZ 25-16. Site plan for a 40-unit rental apartment home development under CGS 8-30G, affordable housing application at 220, 226, 244 Kitts Lane and 226 Kitts Lane rear in the BBT Business Berlin Turnpike Zone. Owner applicant Kitts Lane Apartments LLC, contact Timothy Hollister. Motion to approve with conditions. Move to approve application TPZ 2516 with the following conditions. One, a final affordability plan shall be submitted prior to the issuance of certificate of occupancy. The annual report to the Town Planning and Zoning Commission shall also include a report of the dispersion of the affordable units throughout the development. The affordable units shall be evenly distributed across the development as proposed by the applicant. Two, the applicant's site plan for the Willow Haven townhouses prepared by Zuvik dated 9/12/2025 shall be modified in the following manner. A, the proposed driveway intersection opposite the Aldi's supermarket driveway and Kitts Lane shall be constructed as a four-way stop. The signing and pavement marketing plan provided by F.A. Hesketh and Associates Incorporated dated September 24, 2025 shall be incorporated into the final plan set after review and approval by the town engineer and local traffic authority. B, the sidewalks along the inner ring in front of units 16 through 20, inclusive of the visitor spaces, and units 21 through 38 within the proposed area of flush mountable curbs shall be constructed as a town standard driveway apron for the entire length to support fire apparatus and other emergency vehicles. Notes and details to this effect shall be incorporated into the final plan set after approval by town staff. C, the extent of the mountable curbing shown on sheet SB1 shall be revised to include mountable park curbing along the curves of the site hammerheads. D, the grading of the southern site hammerhead shall be revised to provide no less than 8 inches of vertical clearance at all points along the vertical curve for the design vehicle. E, the plan shall be modified to provide emergency access to the areas behind units 23 through 31. An accessible route shall be provided through the construction of 2 sets of stairs, one between unit 25 and 26 and another between units 27 and 28 from the front to the rear of these units. In addition, the decks behind units 28 through 31 shall be constructed as a single deck with stairs connecting to the ground behind unit 28. The decks behind units 26 and 27 shall also be constructed with stairs connecting to the ground. These stairs shall be designed by the applicant's site engineer and incorporated into the final plan set after approval by town staff. F, the ground condition cover for the slopes in excess of 3:1 between units 27 to 28 and 25, 26 shall be revised prior to obtaining a certificate of occupancy to provide for adequate site stabilization in conjunction with plan modifications for emergency personnel access. G, the south walls of units 23 3 through 31 shall be designed to incorporate the recommendations of the Brooks Acoustical Study to provide for an exterior wall assembly with a sound isolation performance of at least STC 55 and window assemblies which provide a sound isolation performance of at least STC 35. H, the proposed 8-foot tall wooden fence shall be modified to an 8-foot acoustic sound barrier fence. Notes and details to this effect shall be incorporated into the final plan set prior to obtaining a building permit. The applicant is permitted to install a 15-foot sound barrier fence, subject to building permit and zoning approval, if it's found to be needed by the applicant based on as-built conditions. I, revise grading and drainage infrastructure between units 23 to 31 and the southern property line and the toe of the slope east of unit 23, and between units 25 and 26, and between units 26 and 27. J, the soil and erosion control plan shall be modified to include perimeter controls along the northern property line, a reinforced silt fence on the downslope portion of the soil stockpile area, and a detail of the same. And the contact information for the person responsible for the SEC on the plan or providing that, providing that contact to the town planner not less than 2 weeks prior to construction. These revisions shall be included on the final plan set after approval by town staff. K, sheet GP1, update hydrant locations to consistently reflect proposed locations shown on utility plan. L, revise locations of no parking signs to ensure they are not in the vehicle's turning path. M, add a note to sheet UP1 to incorporate the response to staff comment 4I regarding the proposed 240 volt outlets in the garages capable of supporting level 2 electric vehicle chargers. N, include proposed electrical and telecommunications infrastructure on the final plan. These utilities are required to be installed underground per NZR sections 3.14.4 and 7.4.14. O, show footing drains on the final plan. P, if the easement in favor of the Southern New England Telephone Company, volume 108, page 215, has not been released, plot the easement on the existing conditions map if it can be depicted. Q, a sign should be installed at the parking space closest to the proposed mailbox indicating a dedicated short-term parking space, 10 to 15 minutes max for mail pickup and delivery. Or B. R, install no parking signage along the stretch of driveway leading to the northern hammerhead. S, the landscape plan and planting table shall be revised to incorporate the foundation plantings as noted in Schedule A of the applicant's affordability plan and additional plantings throughout the site. T, install a protective fence behind units 7 through 15 in areas abutting the neighbor's property detention basin. 3, the applicant is recommended to incorporate fire-resistant materials in the design of the rear decks located 2 feet from the property line behind units 24 through 31. 4, the applicant shall conform to all rules and requirements to be set forth by the town tree warden for removal of trees in the right-of-way per chapter 367-5I of the town code. 5, the applicant shall sign a drainage agreement for the private connection into the town of Newington system. Reasons for the approval, the applicant's affordable housing application and site plan with modifications proposed through the close of the public hearing and as set forth above meets the criteria for approval of an affordable housing application submitted under CGS 8-30G.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, second, all in favor?
Or
Are we not-
deliberation discussion.
Sorry, I have a couple questions.
Let's see.
H. The way it reads, the proposed 8-foot wall with the fence should be modified to an 8-foot acoustical sound barrier. Again, my understanding of through the discussions, it was a 4-foot fence with a 4-foot sound barrier at the top, because the sound barrier down at the ground level, not gonna do anything.
Yep, I believe, again, I can answer that to the staff. In working with the applicant, we really didn't actually go the full discussion. I don't believe between a 4 and a 4. I think it would be one structure, one fence. So I don't think we get into a separating the two. So I think it was just an 8, and they did not have an issue with just
They're not.
8 foot to 8 foot.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, that we were correct, and then I would actually like to make a motion to amend the motion that's on the table, that we eliminate item T, which is install a protective fence on 7 through 15, an area of flooding with neighbors' property.
The motion, is there a second?
Or would it just
Would
be
we,
a,
wouldn't we just vote?
That changes. what-
so
Wouldn't we
typically,
just
The way- I'm a
vote?
little confused.
Yep.
The way the way it worked right now, we read the motion into the record, read all the items.
Mhm.
T is included in it. So I thought to take it out, we had
Yep.
to amend the motion.
yes, and typically what it would be is, the ways you would have discussion on it. And then you would ask the motioner to amend their motion, and then the second of the motion would also amend it.
And I'm fine with it. So this is it. We made the motion. We
Yep.
okay with that?
No,
Are we voting on?
I was just,
Okay.
Let's just go down like Joe. You have any
just
questions?
had a question on the disabilities they gave us.
Yeah, we're there's a
We're
motion
not-
on the table to amend it right now. We have to answer that question.
Yeah, item T.
I don't want to change things that they're seeing for the first time. I don't know.
Commissioner Fox?
Commissioner Woods, what was the amendment you wanted to make? I didn't hear you that well. I didn't hear you that well, I'm sorry.
There's discussion in this motion that they're now requiring the applicant to put in a fence. It doesn't really say what type of protective fence, whatever that means.
Oh, on that one there.
Specific.
So you want,
On the north side, so you've got the construction yard on the south side.
right,
This is the stop and shop side. This is where they were gonna put a fence.
and you wanna remove that,
Yes.
That's
We didn't discuss it
right?
as a commission. It wasn't part of our deliberation. It got added in. I mean, I understand what the staff is trying to do, but we're trying to, again, I see it, we're trying to protect ourselves from problems we don't even have yet. Right along with the noise. We don't even know that there's a noise problem there yet. We're asking the applicant to help lower that noise level, whatever
Right.
that noise level is.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Steve.
Commissioner Hoffman?
I have no trouble changing it.
Okay. Joe, are you also Commissioner Harpy?
Yeah, it's fine, but I just thought we spent about over 45 minutes a couple of weeks ago with the company that did the sound studies, and I thought that was all.
It's a different fence, Joe.
this is,
There's nothing to
It's-
do with that.
it's
the
this
fence we're
item.
talking about.
it's this item. This is the item that was in the draft motions. I read it in, which means it's gonna be something we're gonna vote on.
Right.
However, since the applicant is not in favor of this one item, and they're agreeable to the others, Commissioner Woods is
Yeah,
asking that we
okay,
remove it.
Okay.
So do we go down and vote on the removal? I mean, it's in
Right,
the
I gotta-
motion, but can we vote without?
You gotta try to pull the rest of it. Yeah.
I got a couple more people we have to poll.
Okay.
Commissioner Marcoma?
They don't even know what's going on.
I'm fine with removing it.
Okay, Commissioner Meyer?
No objection to the removal of it.
Okay. Motion is on the table to remove, item T. Okay.
So if Gia, again, you were the maker of the motion
Right.
on that one too.
I was the seconder. so
Yep,
pretty
the
sure we
seconder.
need it.
Yep.
To agree to
So again, for discussion typically,
So it sounds like the majority of the commissioners
We're gonna find out.
would take
and
it
again,
out.
Eliminate.
it's if it's up to the commission, it's your deliberations, your decision. If you, again, it doesn't carry the same weight. If you wanted to move it to a recommendation, that's always a recommendation. Again, a recommendation is not required to be done. It's a recommendation. And this was an item from the town engineer.
And the concern was brought up due to the slope. But the applicant is saying the slope is not an issue.
Yeah.
But
Again,
so it's an interpretive,
Yeah, it was brought up just again, due to the proximity of that, again, the property line to the to the retention basin, or detention basin. I could say historically, the commission has gone both ways on these type of fences.
Yep.
You know, it is in there. Again, if you wanted to move it to a recommendation, you could. If the applicant found that they had enough funding, enough whatever to kind of make it happen. Again, it is, you know, recommendation. It was a condition that was put on the, and again, this is from the staff conditions that were entered into the record, or it's just the staff review.
I'm sorry, Mike?
Yes, you're okay. I can live with it as a recommendation.
All right.
So it'll stay as a
So,
recommendation.
so let me just, okay, so now that we're having that discussion, do we go around and ask everybody if they want to make it a recommendation?
Well, no, everybody else has agreed to. You're the
To remove
only
it.
one.
Okay, so here's another question, and then that's fine with me if we make it a recommendation, but is there any point to having a study done after the construction is done? To go back and like look at how the grade really situates with the property line and everything? Because there's the everything that's on paper, and then there's what happens like when it's all said and done, and a review, a staff review at that time to see if there's, you know, because it sounds like it's an interpretation. Staff is seeing that grade as a problem potentially, and the applicant doesn't see it that way.
Yeah, again, the recommendation was, you know, for it to there as a safety reason. You know, you can look through those, the comments that were issued. I don't believe we went as far as saying grade or anything. It's, again, it was recommended, or should say, yeah, it was basically that
Yeah.
said one should be installed there.
Yeah.
So again, it's the commission's prerogative. If you do want to move it to a recommendation, you can.
All right, so we'll leave this as we're gonna.
Yeah.
He is happy with it as
So,
a recommendation, and then we got to,
so we'll note it as a recommendation. From the-
So it would
from the
be,
commission.
if you wanted to do that, you would then amend your motion.
Okay,
It sounds like you would amend your motion, but what the commission is kind of saying, that commission T is, what's that?
and move it to number 6 as a recommendation.
Yeah, you can move it to number 6. You could strike T and then move T to number 6 as instead of install, you know,
Recommend.
a protective fence behind units 7 to 15 is recommended to be installed in the areas abutting the neighboring properties detention basin.
okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, so I'll just go back to T. So I
We're gonna
would,
vote on this first, make sure everybody's happy with the recommendation. Am I
No,
correct?
now we're just gonna vote on the whole motion.
Yeah, it would be
That's fine.
the, again, the motioner amending their motion
so I
and the
will,
seconder accepting it.
so I would like to amend my motion to remove item T.
And make it.
And add a recommendation as item 6. Recommendation by the commission to install a protective fence behind units 7 through 15 in areas abutting the neighboring properties detention basin.
Okay.
Do I have a second? Steve?
Or the seconder agrees,
All right, move the second.
Okay,
All right, all in favor?
or again, if there's any other deliberation,
All right,
and
any
this
other
is your time to
deliberations before we move
discuss
on this?
those motions and
I'll come out of deliberations.
I'm fine.
All right. Commissioner Wacoma and Commissioner Minor, are you fine with this, with the recommendation?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Opposed? Okay, carries unanimously.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Good luck.
Okay,
Gonna miss you at our meetings.
guys could at least brought coffee, that's all I'm gonna say.
You don't want to have any propriety.
Yeah. Today, right?
All right, petitions for scheduling, Paul.
none right now, although we are working on a few that should be coming in soon. Now that we've cleared current business, we can get back to hitting the street and making sure that everyone is getting their applications in. You'll likely see, you know, the, you know, Chip Stam's application when he comes in. I'll be reviewing that because we discussed that last time under pre-app, and any other ones I can get in front of the commission and keep progress going.
Okay, communications done? Well,
None.
okay. Public participation for the second round, any public participation?
There's no one online that has their hand raised, Mr. Chairman. Planners report?
Yes, we did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Planners report. I thought we
All
had
right,
that.
so again, current land use, we'll update those. There's some need to be taken down. There won't be anything on there except when we put more on. But I would like to just give you an update. You can move to the next picture. So, did it not get,
I don't have pictures.
I saved it with pictures.
The joy of. Sorry, yeah, I don't have. Nice picture of Commissioner Coleman.
Yep, so, I was going to show you pictures of Culver Street. Let's see.
Yeah, building up and a foundation, huh?
What's that? Yep,
Yes.
building up and a foundation is up. I'm gonna see real quickly if for some reason is in there, let's take a look at that folder. In the Zoom folder. Sorry about this, everyone. There's always something technical. I'll put it under the Zoom application. And that's the one you have open.
All right, yep.
Okay, I did modify it and save it, but apparently it didn't take. So I will just report that one building is stick built all the way up. Another foundation is poured, and it looks like the foundation for the small clubhouse building coming in is poured, at least the footings are poured for that. So progress is going on. I did inspect the site today. Reviewed all of the perimeter erosion controls. There's some areas that need just a little bit of touch up, but that's why we go out to the sites and check them out. I have notified the contractor for that, but it is none of the areas that are adjacent to the wetland, and they have been addressing it on site. Again, it's a very large open site right now, but construction is going on and is expected for the site contractor to be back on site this Friday. Beginning construction and starting more activities as well. So they did put in the water line. So that will kind of help the progress on it. They had a fire watch there for a little while because, you know, working with the MDC, as we all know, has its challenges and its time that takes in part of that process, but that's just part of our utility process here. But they have moved forward with that, and they are, again, moving forward and have permits for all of the buildings.
Have they put the sanitary into?
That I don't know. I think they may have. They've done most of the
When
underground
they
work.
put the water in, they put the sanitary.
Yeah, because
in at the
they
same
also
time.
have all of their drainage in as
There's only
well.
one road cut so far, though, just the water. I didn't see.
Yeah, I'd have to check on the sanitary.
No, I'm just curious. That's all.
Yeah, the
Maybe
water
they're
was,
just grabbing it too from the side of the road.
yeah, the water was the biggest hurdle because it had to be MDC required to
Them
be
to
brought
extend the
down
line,
and
yeah.
extended down.
Okay.
It came from Apple Hill, right?
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Yep, came all the way up in Cortland. Also Taco John's obviously is moving. They've posted all their bonds and everything as well. And spoke to the contractor yesterday. They too are having some issues with MDC and their grease trap. So.
Another place they won't go to.
I'm glad to see nothing's changed with the MDC. Okay, thank you. Communication, we already covered. You have nothing there, Paul?
And the public participation, yep, no communications.
Okay, public participation, second round.
No one online has their hand raised, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, remarks by commissioners. Any remarks by the commissioners here? Commissioner Fox.
Yes. A little few. I'm glad, I want to thank you for getting us out before 8:08 this evening.
Thank you, Commissioner Fox. I appreciate that. Commissioner Wakoma and Commissioner Minor, any comments?
No.
No comments, thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
Okay, my closing remarks are, thank you very much for showing up tonight and participating. We got a lot covered. And I know Commissioner Fox wants to get down to the Yankee game, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Second, third.
Okay,
Everybody in favor?
okay, we're done. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.